that was delicious.
What an extravagant breakfast. Look at me. I'm still in my robe. Why didn't somebody tell me that? I have to call Alan and tell him I'm going to be late.
Well, I guess I'll go check if Mrs. Grant needs help with PJ. You want me to call Alan's house, Mother?
That would be wonderful. It's not a big deal, you understand. It's just that I told him I'd be there and he might be expecting me.
Well, I'll explain.
Oh. What will you explain?
I'll explain that you got tied up with PJ, of course.
Oh, good. Good. I think they might suspect that we had all gone round the bend if you told them that I was going to be late because somebody had sent me an extraordinary, extravagant, magnificent breakfast, and we all had to eat it.
Leslie.
Yeah.
I didn't come by to check up on you. I came by to see PJ. What you do is your business.
Good. I'm glad we have that straight. Although I realize you're probably convinced that I'm in the middle of yet another flaming romance. And even if I were, or for that matter, even if I am, I don't think you'd have the right to say anything about it, considering your recent past, eh, Doc? What's so funny?
You're right. I am a little bit out of joint about the new man in your life, and you're also right that I don't have any business feeling that way.
That's right. You have absolutely no business feeling that way.
But I must add this one last thought. Your date last night must have done you a lot of good, because you look terrific this morning.
I gotta get dressed. If I leave now, I'm not gonna be that late. Oh, did you reach Alan?
No, he'd already gone. But I left a message with Kathy, and she said that she'd tell Monica to call him.
Oh, okay, thank you. Listen, if you're gone when I come back down, I do thank you for coming over to help.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I'll be back tomorrow, too, if you promise to have the same kind of breakfast.
Oh, sure, sure. Good to see you, Rick.
Well, I'm really glad I came by this morning.
Yeah, it was fine breakfast. Really top notch. Super.
No. I meant to see PJ. You know something? You know, I think I really see some resemblance to Jeff. I mean, it could be my imagination now that I know the truth, but... Well, you know that cute little frown that he gets on his face sometimes when he's trying to concentrate on something? Don't you think that kind of looks like Jeff?
I think it's kind of like you to talk about Jeff and PJ and get me off the subject of Mr. Tony Castle.
I can never fool you, can I?
Laura, I admit my nose is a little out of joint, and with the card and the flowers before, and then now all this, yeah. Sweetheart, there's something about the man I don't like.
Hi, Dr. Weber. Steve Hardy's on the phone and he wants to talk to you. Perfect timing
Thank
today.
you. Yeah. Got anything there? Yes, Steve.
Rick, I'm glad I caught up with you.
Well, what's up?
I just heard from Jeff. He called from Forest Hills. He wants some sort of a meeting with you, me, Lee, and Howard, if we can reach them.
Oh, well, you're in luck. Lee's just walking in the door right now. Look, I've got to make rounds, but then I can make it for sure.
Oh, terrific. The timing is just about right since Jeff has to make it back here anyway.
Well, we'll see you then.
Fine. And tell Bobby that I can be reached here at home if there are any problems.
Will do. See if you can be at his house if you need to reach him for anything.
Forget it.
Hi. Sure glad you decided to drop your wife today, because you're the man I'm looking for.
Was there a problem?
Yeah, that was Steve. He would like to see yourself, Howard, me, and Jeff at his house right away.
Now?
If that's possible.
Well, I have some morning appointments, but I guess I can cancel them. And I'll see about getting in touch with Howard.
Great.
Anything I ought to know?
He didn't give me any details, but I have a hunch it's to do with Heather and PJ.
So hard to believe that P.J. Taylor is really Stephen Lars.
Well, the big question is, did Heather know all along?
Come in, Jeff.
Thank you. I saw the cars outside.
Yes, everyone's here.
Gentlemen, I appreciate this a lot.
No problem.
Would you like some coffee?
No, thanks. Sit down, please.
And Jeff, I filled him in as much as I could.
Steve said it's about Heather.
And P.J.
Did you see Heather this morning?
No, just her doctor. And he gave me a bit of news that kind of got me going. As a matter of fact, we got into a little verbal tiff.
Oh, Jeff, did you have to
Now,
go
wait a
into...
minute. What happened, Jeff?
Nelson thinks that Heather should be allowed outpatient status, day visits.
You're serious?
Yeah, I sure wish I wasn't. But the good doctor feels as though that it'd be good for Heather's therapy and eventual recovery. He also thought that I should let her see PJ.
He actually said that?
Well, he intimated that. He kept stressing how much she wanted to see him, to hold him. And I know he feels as though that PJ is the key to Heather's eventual departure from the sanitarium permanently.
Well, that is what you want, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. I want her out of there so I can divorce her and marry Ann. Wow. When I hear myself say that, I sound like some kind of an ogre. Nelson said the same thing this morning, and I just about jumped down his throat.
Well, Jeff, Heather legally does share custody.
Oh, legalities be damned. I don't want her anywhere near that kid. Not now, not ever.
Jeff, that doesn't sound very realistic. Sorry.
Rick's right. Look, we didn't get into this. But right now, you have custody of PJ. But as soon as Heather's well enough for you to divorce her, you're going to have to face the problem of custody.
And, Jeff, she's going to cut quite a pathetic figure in a courtroom. You know, any smart lawyer is going to be able to create quite a heart-rending scenario around her. Poor mother had her child robbed, now living in the same city, can't claim him, and a husband divorcing her, and he's demanding full custody of her little boy.
Jeff, now it sounds to me, in the long run, that it would be better if you did let Heather see your son.
To help my case later?
Wait a minute. Is it really possible he could lose in court?
Audrey, in a courtroom, anything's possible.
Thank you, gentlemen, a lot.
Thank you.
Pretty much what you expected.
You know, every time I think of Heather getting anywhere near PJ, I get very, very worried.
But you did say that Dr. Nelson is respecting your wishes.
Oh, yeah, for now, yeah. Till he thinks that I'm holding some kind of vendetta on Heather.
Oh, Jeff.
I'm sorry, but there's no way in the world that I can forget the things that she has done. She's been deceiving me all my life, and I'm just sorry I fell for it.
Jeff, she gave you a son. And that can always overshadow everything.
Your brother's right, Jeff.
You know, it really is like a two-edged sword. If Heather does recover totally, you can divorce her and marry Ann. But then you'll have a custody battle over your son.
Annie. How long can I ask her to wait?
Oh, Jeff, she loves you with all her heart.
Yeah, but she's also got a son to think about. Am I being fair to Ann? And Jeremy?
Well, don't you think the one you should ask is Ann?
Good morning.
What is this?
Your breakfast?
Wait.
Cheese, mushroom omelet, just the way you like it?
Yeah, well, it probably is a cheese and mushroom omelet, but I didn't order breakfast this morning.
No, I know, but I didn't think you'd be up to making anything for yourself, so...
What can I say?
That it looks absolutely terrific.
No, it doesn't look terrific. It smells even better.
Oh,
Terrific.
great.
Well, can I help?
Sure. Rick, I do think I know how you must be feeling this morning and, well, how all of Diana's friends are feeling.
Makes it seem very final when it's a memorial service, doesn't it? You going?
Yeah, I'd really like to. I wasn't a real close friend of Diana's, but when Patty died, she was so good to me, just so positive and supportive.
She'd been through it herself so very recently before that.
She was a very special lady.
She was a very special lady. Look, if you're going, and I'm going, why don't we go together?
Well, thank you, Rick. I'd like that very much.
Would you now?
Yes, so now why don't you sit down and eat your omelet before it gets freezing cold, and I'll be ready in a few minutes.
Okay.
It's going to be quite a gathering today.
Yes. I'm glad Gail decided to have the services here in the chapel. I think Diana would have liked that.
I think so, too.
Huh, Steve, Audrey, listen, is there anything I can do to help?
Oh, thanks, Dan, but everything's just fine. There is something I'd like to ask of you, Jesse.
Anything I can do?
Audrey and I both felt that as head of the nursing staff, it would be appropriate for you to say a few words about Diana after I give the eulogy.
Well, thank you. I consider that a privilege.
You know, it's too bad she didn't have some family around here.
Oh, I think she had family. She had us. I couldn't agree more. That's why she stayed here after Peter died. She considered this home.
Well, it looks as if people are starting to arrive. Come on, Audrey, excuse us. Lila, Edward, so pleased that you could come, all of you.
I'm just so sorry it had to be under these circumstances.
Yes, it's a very sad day indeed.
She was such a lovely young woman.
Is the chapel open yet?
No, we'll be shortly.
Well, why don't we head out in that direction then?
Fine, fine. We'll see you all later.
I'll check us both in.
Okay. Darling, why don't we go on ahead?
Oh, hey, there's Dan. I want to say hi.
I want to see you a little bit then, huh?
Rick?
Seems almost inappropriate to be working today, doesn't it?
Well, I think there's nobody that would be more interested in keeping the hospital running than Diana.
She had to die in such a senseless way.
But at least she got things straightened out before she died. I mean, with Jeff.
So at least she was able to deal with him honestly. I keep thinking about the timing. If she hadn't told him the truth about his son that night, he might not ever find him.
Hi.
Jeff?
Hi. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to know what to say, huh?
Yeah. Did you get a chance to stop by and see PJ this morning?
No. No, I couldn't. I'll do it afterwards.
Think we could go in the chapel now? I think I'd like to be alone before everyone else shows up.
Audrey, why don't all four of us go ahead and go in?
Fine. But before we do go in, Jesse has a message for you from Dr. Nelson.
That'll have to be after the service. He's about the last person I want to talk to right now.
How's it going?
We have a few minutes yet.
I can't believe we're really going to a service for Diana Taylor.
I know. She was a good friend. You know, I've been thinking about the time that Diana brought Leslie Weber into the disco. It was right after Leslie and Rick got divorced, and Diana and I were trying to help Leslie pick her spirits up. I think that's when Diana and I started getting really close.
You're really gonna miss her, aren't you?
Yeah. I never had that many real close friends, you know.